I stay here.
Yeah, okay.
The bus driver is different. You heard that?
What?
Someone didn't wear a mask. He got mad.
Okay. He's friendly to us, so that's what matters, right?
These kinds of bus, they run the airport.
Yes. These D40s you see here, they're the Excelsior line buses. They run on Route 100 and so on.
I think they only put this one. Supposed to be, there are two like this, so you can put your luggage. Wherever you have one.
But they have these ones, they're accordion buses, so they have. These are a little older, I think they're 14s, but they run quite smooth. They're only 6 years old. After we get back, we're taking the train back to Heritage, and then I'm calling it a day, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Because by the time we get back, Legacy is normally 40 minutes long, but like the last time I went there, you know, there's a road closure, so you have to detour.
I hope they finish it right now. When was that?
I took Legacy,
Last month?
last month, yes. On Janelle's, oh, look at her.
What is that?
Dust.
Where it came from?
I don't know, maybe the top. Yeah. And these run on Route 9 and stuff too. Route 9 a lot, I see quite a few of these as well. They do the Dalhousie to Chinook run. These are more cleaner diesel buses. They run on diesel, but they're more quiet. I haven't been on one of these since, I don't know, since Sandstone and Skyview or something.
Any plans tonight? Barbecue?
No,
Hockey game?
sloppy joes and some football.
Oh. football. Super Bowl?
No, Super Bowl's not until February. Just regular season. NFL's fresh start. They're only in week 3 of the regular season. Yeah. We were on a couple of 8300 Nova bus the other day, but they're not till later. These are the early. They sound quite a bit similar to the Nova buses, except these buses are running on diesel, right? The other one is natural. Between these buses and the brand new Nova buses, the grill looks quite a bit different.
The dust came from there.
Huh?
The dust.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The vents. Have you been to Legacy before? It's a nice community.
Yeah, I think I did. I know this place. Looks familiar.
The 14 goes down this way though, where we're going. Yeah, very quiet running bus. To get compared to the 01s that we've been on, although they are still very reliable. Bus we saw that broke down the other day, luckily it wasn't ours.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Circle?
Yeah.
Heartbeat circle.
Another circle.
I heard this one on the news. There's open houses here
Yeah.
for sale. Yeah. This is the area.
You're welcome.
Homes are gorgeous here.
Yeah. This one has a garage. Down there, they don't have.
Some of them are in the back though, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You take care.
Thank you.
Looks like we're the only ones.
I was just gonna say you got your own private bus now.
Yeah. Are you from England or?
Yes.
Oh, I could tell by your accent.
I've been here 12 years, driving for transit the entire time.
Did you see that guy that you didn't have a mask on? That guy you were waiting for?
Yep, he didn't get up.
Did he have one with him?
No. It's technically I'm not allowed to refuse anybody, but how I look at it is I want to stay safe, you want to stay safe.
Yeah.
You don't want to be sitting in a crowded bus with somebody not wearing a mask. So
I guess, and that's, I'm not saying this is the complete answer, but you know, we got to get through this at some point.
I agree.
There has to be a fine line. And you know, I get that guy's fed up, you know, I get it. I even struggled with it at first.
Well, that's the point. We've all got to just adapt, and to me, as you said, is it the answer? I don't know, but if it saves one life, it's got to be worth it. That's how I look at it. So.
I want to ask you, is there new lockdowns in the UK?
Yes. Yeah.
I think
Big lockdowns.
there's a second wave.
In the Manchester area, they're fully locked back down again. That's where my mother lives. It's gone really bad there. But it's funny how everywhere's dealing with things differently. Me and my wife, we just spent a long weekend in Banff last weekend. And Banff's, their bylaw is, if you're in the town centre, you wear a mask. So you're walking up and down Banff Avenue and everybody's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
That's on the street.
But you go somewhere else and no one is.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, second wave there. Transit ridership that is gonna go down.
Well, we've steadily gone back up, and to me, you know, I'm like everybody. I don't like wearing a mask, but I wear one because it just helps to potentially protect other people. Me wearing a mask doesn't protect me, it protects you. And vice versa, so... Oh well. So you're into buses, are you?
Yeah, and trains. I got on one of Calgary's old U2 cars last week.
Now I know nothing about the trains. I really don't. Buses I can talk about, but trains I've not got a clue.
But I'm gonna go to London someday and get on the tube train you guys have. I hear your system is very accessible.
Yes, very, very accessible in London, and Paris is the same. The metro is very accessible.
That's what I want to see in Calgary in the coming years, more trains and more lines.
You know, well, no, I best not say because I work for transit, but I just see them going back and forwards the whole time. They just don't seem to have any clear long-term plan. You know, there's talks in 12 years' time we're going to change over to electric, but we've just invested heavily in the CNG, the natural gas buses.
Oh, they're spanking. They're nice. You gotta give it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I hate them.
But it's noisy.
Well, I'm not a big fan of the Nova bus.
I like the D40 LFs, they're my favorite, with the Cummins diesels.
Yeah, well, the Novas, I'm not a big fan of them.
The D40s are nice, though.
Well, the Novas are bouncy, they're very soft suspension, and they just don't have any power. Whereas the CNGs, they've got a stiffer suspension, but they still lack power. Now, these buses, I was impressed that you knew this was 6 years old. I had to look at the registration and find out you're quite right, it is 6.
14, right?
Yeah,
14.
2014. Let's see what month this is.
Excelsior D40.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You know more than me. Hasn't got a month on it, just says 14. No, when we first got these, they had, because they're all computerized, they had a very bad startup system. So you put your foot down on the gas, it would go very slow and then it would lurch. So you'd get a lot of whiplash. So nobody would correct that. Eventually we got it corrected. They were lovely and smooth. One of my favorites.
Have you ever driven the 01s, them 01 buses? 77s.
I've driven 77s. I've been here 12 years, and we had we still had the Jimmies in when I came here. The ones that weren't accessible.
I wouldn't get on one
Nope.
though.
Well, most people do like these. They're very smooth, very quiet, and they've got air conditioning, which
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah, the 77s up to the 79s and early 8000s are all D40 LF.
But when we cut our fleet back,
Yeah.
I can't remember what number they cut it back to, but the decision was, because we've all got talked, it's an open mic system in an emergency. So I've got a button down in my cockpit where if I press it, it opens up a mic system straight to our control room. So they were the ones that all get kept and everything else just got binned.
Yeah, them D40 LFs are quite reliable. They're older, but them 7900s, you talk about a nice bus to drive.
They are. 79s, they'll get you through anything. They are solid.
What, do they break down every now and again? Yeah, sure.
These break down a hell of a lot more.
They're so smooth though, these
Yes.
Excelsior line buses. We actually also have Excelsior D60s as well.
Have you ever done a tour of one of the barns?
No, but I am gonna soon.
I doubt they're doing any tours now, but we do tours every now and again for people. And I've bumped into quite a few.
Have you ever driven the trains here or no?
Nope, I have no indication. I just do not want to touch them trains. It's not for me.
My God, I can't believe our 41-year-olds are still there though.
What's my mouse in yours? Cheers. As I said to you, I haven't got a clue about the trains. I wouldn't have a clue what. Well, no. I'm not seeing enough. Well, I'm seeing enough to go on to trains, but I wouldn't get.
You know what I noticed with the 77s, they're starting to break down a lot more, right?
Well, we are phasing them out now, so we have a policy now where we are moving over to the CNG buses, and they're all out of Stony Farm. And as a new CNG bus comes in, a 77 goes out, so it's a one-to-one replacement.
I got like 20 77s. I do a YouTube. I'm getting as many 77s as possible before they're all gone.
Well, you want to contact our media guy, and he's based at Spring Gardens, I forget his name, and ask to do a tour of the barns, and he'll gladly arrange it. Trust me, they really do go out their way for you.
Remember the 7600s? I still think we have one left, eh? 76s, eh?
Yeah. I've been here 12 years, so I've driven from 74s upwards.
To the Jimmies. They kept the Jimmies too long though, would you agree?
Thing is though, we used to use the Jimmies for the school runs. The kids could kick 7 bells out of them.
And then rush hours,
Yeah.
right?
That's when the Jimmies came out. But they're good, solid, reliable bus. They just didn't have any power.
Man, the Detroit diesel, the diesel sound in them reminds you of old retro bus.
I used to work for a truck manufacturer in the UK called ERF, and German company MAN took them over. Well, we used to put Cummins engines in theirs, and we used to marry them up with a Perkins transmission.
This one has a Cummins,
Yes.
but it's a lot quieter than the 7800 series. They're all equipped as Cummins as well, but these are more clean diesel buses.
Cummins has the advantage because you can adjust them more than you can with the likes of the Hemi. I say I worked for ERF, and one of the departments was literally, this was for the semis, a truck manufacturer, and each night what would come into the office was all the telemetry of how that truck has performed over the last 24 hours, and then they could then send back information to tweak this, tweak that, all done electronically, and it just gave fantastic performance.
So how long do you think the 77s will last? There's still a bunch around.
By the end of next year.
I get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 every day.
They'll be slowly but surely gone. We're using them more and more to just get the last lot of life out of them. But as I say, as we pull a new CNG bus in, a 77 goes.
You know what's really cool? I got one of Calgary's first 7701, which is pretty special.
Yeah, I've driven that one. I know the one you mean.
Has it broken down on you, that poor old girl?
No. See, a lot of our very old buses go into Anderson. So we always send our buses that are going to retire down to Anderson. They finish their life out down there. That's why you get a lot of 77.
What if they don't break down, eh? Do they leave them until they break down? Or?
No. Yeah, every bus will have a regular maintenance rotation period. But as I say, we just, as we get new 84s, the CNG buses in, we just get rid of a 77.
How about the 78s, eh? They won't be gone for a while.
I don't like the 78s. I prefer the 79s. 79s were
Oh,
solid bus.
the early 8000s, they have D40Ls too, eh? The early 8000s are nice,
They're all
eh?
your new Flyers, and then we moved to Novas with our 81 series, and everybody hated them. And when we went with the CNG, they got two test ones in, 8301 and 8302, I think. And they're CNG buses. No, we had 4. 2 were from Nova, 2 were from New Flyer. And they asked us which ones we liked. We all said we liked the Flyers. We went and bought Novas.
If I was running the transit system, get feedback from my employees, I would have said, okay, New Flyers it is.
One of the problems that the Novas have is they have a traction system, which in Calgary, it doesn't work. Whereas the Flyer, you can override it, the Novas you can't.
And then New Flyers got get up and go when you get on top speed. Especially them 79s, eh? You can really go down the highway.
79s have got real good, but as I say, I'm going to be driving an old bus, 79s, and when I got this today, I'm over the moon because I've got air conditioning, it's a smoother ride, it's quieter, because I'm on this for 6 hours, on this piece of work, so 6 hours with a noisy bus, just, it's too much.
Remember the old 90s buses with the Detroit diesels, the 1996 ones?
Way before my time.
But when you started, the 96 buses were still strong. They all phased them out too.
The thing is though, 12 years ago when I started, to me a bus was a bus.
Yeah.
And I just drove them. It's only as you drive them more and more, you start realising the differences
So,
in them.
I'm just curious, how many 77s do we have left in service right now?
Would not have a clue. Wouldn't have a clue. But
There's enough of them. You know what? I don't go one day without getting a 77, eh? I always get a 77. But I mean, they're gonna be 20 years old next year, right?
oh, we'll keep them longer. Probably keep them 22, 23 years.
But that's just the start of the phase out, right?
Yes.
Well, I mean, you know what? The Nova buses are not... More of this Nova bus stuff isn't going to come out in overnight. It's going to take probably at least maybe 3 to 4 years to get another full order.
I don't think the Nova buses will last as long as the Flyers or the Excelsiors. I really don't.
You know, we have a New Flyers D60 LFRs, eh? The accordions, too. The 07s and 08 series. And then they have accordion buses like this, too. Just like this. Except they're I think they go up to the 60 80s and 60 90s. They have a few of these. We have 2010 Nova buses as well. How are they? Have you driven them?
Do you know, over the length of time, I've probably driven most of them. I've driven all the different types, but I don't keep track of which
They're the
ones.
81s, I think.
I've driven lots of 81s because when we first got them, we had to do a conversion course. We had to spend half an hour driving them because there were so many differences to the likes of the Flyers.
Poor 77s, eh? I saw one broken down a month ago and then just the other day. 7713 last month and 7738 just on Monday.
Trust me, I see more of these new buses getting towed in than the older buses.
Yeah. Man, them old ones have them workhorses, them 77s.
Yeah, but with the older buses, it's a simple engine, whereas with this, literally all of what's behind me is just a big computer running everything.
These new Flyer buses are awesome though. I want to get on more of these. I don't have a lot of Excelsior footage. I was happy to get one today. And then I think I got 5 Nova buses.
I say, you should contact our media guy at Spring. Trust me, they'll help you out. They'll show you around the barns. You'll get some footage with all the buses, especially our new gas ones up at the new.
Oh,
facility.
here's 77 going by. I think they only have about so much time before they just quit though, the 77s. I wonder if they're still making enough parts for them though. That's a thing too.
Now that is the question.
You stop making parts, that's it, right? Guess you just run them till you can't run them, you don't have any spare parts, so if that one breaks, out you go.
Well, I say, when I worked for I left the truck manufacturing, whenever we retired an old unit, we had to keep parts available for 10 years. After that,
To keep the old ones going, a
Yeah.
few of them. See, that's a computerized train right there. You see all these new LRT cars, Siemens S200s, they're all computerized, and the ones that are coming in, there's been more problems.
I'll tell you a problem that they had. When they first came in, they don't have mirrors, they have cameras on the side of them.
Yeah.
Now when they were leaving Anderson Barn, the driver would fold the mirrors in. You can't fold the cameras in. So as they were coming out of the barn, the camera kept clipping. So they had to put a little notch in to allow the camera to go out.
The older trains that we have, the old 1980s, U2s are so much more simple. These are just like computerized that like to click. When I first got on one for the first time, that's what happened. You know, broke down on me twice in one day. I swore at them a little bit because I was just so, you know. Anyway,
You take care, you'll have a great time.
good times, good talking to you.
And you.
Bye.